So we're back at Matt Schallenberger's, which is Iron Addict Customs, and he does old school stuff, as you can see. Panhead, shovelheads, his game, flatheads, anything old.
Anything old.
And my game is anything pretty, and he figures out how to make them run. I figure out how to make them pretty. I've done my share of mechanics, as you guys know, as well from watching the series, but this is going to be a special project. It's going out to Virginia to a show in May 18th.
4 months to put this baby together.
So we got 4 months to get as crazy as we can with engineering and colors and paint, and who knows what's going to be thought up by the time we get done with this project. But Matt's done a lot of choppers. I've done a lot of choppers. I've done a lot of new school choppers from owning Steel Horse Custom Motorcycles from 2000 2006. We built the big high dollar choppers like everybody else on TV did, and I wish I would have spent a lot more time doing the old school stuff. The old school stuff I worked on when I was riding them, so I learned the hard way on that stuff. But anyway, we come to pick up the tank from Matt and get ready to get started on getting it based, because it's going to have some tricks done to it, and we want everybody to kind of stay intrigued on what's happening and check back in with us. Probably once a month or once a week, we'll probably get together and do a little bit of filming just to get an episode out to see what he's got going. And I think you got to send video out to them about once a week, don't you?
Yeah, we'll be shooting some videos too on Instagram.
Yeah.
Iron Addict Customs. You can check it out.
So
See what the other guys are doing too, because there's 4 other invited builders. So
yeah,
see what those guys are up to.
yeah. So look it up on Iron Addict Customs on Instagram. Of course, you can find Iron Blackbird Cycles on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and everywhere but the Chinese ones. So the Chinese don't need to know what we're up to. We got top secret shit going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, y'all have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Iron Blackbird Cycles, and look up Matt at Iron Addict Customs. And send a message, say, hey, you seen him on our YouTube channel. He'll probably have a YouTube channel before this is all said and done with, but maybe. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button.
Something to
Well,
get that.
you know what they said? These guys said, why don't you take and weld on a little like bolt with some
That's what I was
threads
talking about.
and leave it raised and just do maybe 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's out this far, it's gonna be out that far,
Right.
close to it. You're gonna look right down there and see them. This is ultra clear epoxy. It's like
Right.
glass.
You're wanting to sink that badge in there.
Right. I'm gonna off center it a little bit.
Oh,
and
I
just-
got you. Yeah, that sounds.
Wherever
awesome.
that badge is, we'll take a bolt.
Mm,
And it's just gonna, doesn't that badge have a bevel?
It does, but I don't, well, so the guy that does this every day. Here's the process. The process is I lay my, let's say 1/4 inch or whatever. I'm gonna lay my 1/4 inch in here. You let that get tacky.
Mhm.
As soon as it's tacky, you drop that
There
in
you
there.
go.
Yep.
Then you pour the rest of that epoxy, all
Right.
the rest. I got a 57, 58 old Panhead original Harley Davidson badge. It's round, it's a tank badge. And it's got a yellow and a red, and it's really freaking cool. It's this Harley Davidson.
You got a straight edge. By the way, it's Dave with Iron Blackbird Cycles, and we're picking up a tank from Matt Schallenberger, Iron Addict Cycles, and he's got a build-off kind of deal going on with how many? 5?
5 people.
5 people. What's the name of that deal?
Taylortown Customs. It's a barbecue and blues bike show, invite-only bike show.
And it's out in
Taylortown, Virginia.
Virginia. I don't think
Nice
it's
flat.
necessary. I don't think that epoxy's coming out of there. you would have to break the seal of all the clear coat that's over that epoxy to fall out.
That's a lot of surface area for it
Exactly.
to grab onto.
Exactly. I don't see a problem. And I'm gonna rough the shit out of this up before I put the primer and paint in. And I'll use a 2K epoxy primer so that it latches into that metal and doesn't go
And
anywhere.
epoxy's on top of that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a problem.
I don't think so either. I was expecting a larger tank.
You were thinking more
and
like this dish over here, a bigger dish
Yeah.
like this.
yeah, I was thinking about the dish about that size.
Yeah.
So the weight of that epoxy is gonna be nothing, first off.
Right. And it's gonna be this high, probably.
I don't
At the
think
end
it'll be
of the
that
day.
high. I think it's gonna be. Give me a piece of cardboard.
Got a piece of cardboard?
Or a magazine paper. That'd be a quick way to find the radius on it.
Oh,
Yeah, totally did.
I love those things. They're loud. You know it's coming.
See, I was expecting that tank.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if you come up here in front and look, it's not gonna be arched more than that.
Right. Slide it down toward the bottom a little bit. So you're talking probably
About an inch,
About an inch.
inch and a quarter maybe.
get it on the right side.
Here, this will be better.
There's-
Right here.
It's about an inch and a quarter.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly what it's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
So, I don't see a problem with epoxy staying in there. If it does, I'll redo it, we'll figure out a different way to do it.
It's gonna stay in there.
I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't hesitate this shallow. If we were talking that much epoxy like on one of those tanks, I would be worried that the weight of the epoxy, you hit a couple of
That's what I'm
bumps,
saying, you go over railroad
might
tracks.
crack and fall out, but
Then I
this
gotta
is,
pick it up and put it in
this
my
is
bra
nothing.
like a set of boobs.
yeah. I don't think this is a problem at all. When we prep this for primer,
Leave some surface.
I will take probably 36 grit and put 36 grit scratches inside this area, and then spray it with 2K primer, level it, and more 2K primer and level it before we ever put paint on
I'll
it.
just be able to grab a hold of that.
Yeah,
What do you wanna do with this? I'm gonna use this side for the petcock, this side not.
have you thought about running
Maybe.
a
Dual
dual,
petcock.
well, like a brass or copper tubing up to a T, coming right up down the frame with the T and straight down or something?
And do something like that.
I think it'd be cool if it come out and went down the top backbone of the frame. You know,
Yep.
nice bend to a T, run down the backbone, dip it over and go down to the car. Or even go through the frame.
Yeah. Well, I'm also gonna run the,
You'd have your keys gonna be somewhere in this area here, right?
yeah, well, that's going away.
This right here,
This is my mock-up. Not just a mock-up. But that's gonna be like this
Yeah.
instead, right? Actually, use a piece of pipe and,
Yep, no, exactly what that is.
this is just tacked
Yep.
up, right? So, I'll get it lined in, I'll
You need to do some cobwebs in this.
get a plug that. you
Yeah.
know, Plug weld.
Yeah, just like.
Yeah, you don't need a ton for this.
Just freaking top motor
Right.
mount.
Right, but that'll look a lot better than this bullshit. This is ugly.
You could cut this out
Yeah, sounds good.
and put it on the plasma cutter and cut a web in it or
Yeah.
something.
I don't like that flat shit.
No,
I was just saying weld it in as a gusset.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just cut this piece out,
Right,
use this
use
piece,
it, yeah.
cut it to fit this, and then just,
Yeah,
Cut
put
something in
something
it.
in there.
I hate to do cobwebs, everybody does cobwebs, do something different, you know, even if it's just a span it, you know, whatever.
I think I got that hot.
This is, if you come down off that tank, brought those two copper lines in, and went right through the frame with it,
Right
and
now.
down to the carburetor.
And if I left this open,
Dude, we're about that. I wouldn't put that copper tube anywhere you're gonna have any kind of chafing because it'll hold it.
yeah.
You
What
have to have
about-
some type of
Yeah,
grommet
you can
around
put a
it.
grommet around it. What
I
about,
could even get some braided line, use braided line, which might look really good on there.
Bronze or copper.
what about we run that copper line right down the end of this? Is there a good enough space to come out?
Well, I can make it, this is just mucked up.
Yeah.
You know,
Cause you could hide that, it'd look cool cause it's right here and it's on top of the backbone.
I wanna do the same thing for the freaking,
Cables, controls.
well, there ain't gonna be anything up there. The bars are gonna, I was just farting around with it. This is, I'm not using these bars at all,
Right.
but, cable will run down through the bars like this. And then I'm gonna drop it into the,
Back.
run down the backbone and bring it out also. So you'll see nothing on the
Super
controls.
clean.
2 grips.
Super clean.
That's it.
Yeah.
You need one for this side.
Huh?
You need one for that side too. You got a distributor on this?
That's got a distributor, yeah. Not for long.
What are you gonna,
Not for long.
you gonna put a mag on it or
I'm
what?
gonna put a mag on it.
I'm gonna say, hook up the other side so you have advance over there.
Good.
Of course, you can still advance the mag same way.
Let's talk about this. Come back here.
Yep.
And weld these on. I can do something like this. Something like this. I can do anything I wanna do. I can come here. I can run one. Right
Wow,
there.
that's good.
I'm gonna work on this. I just got this done
Yeah.
today, you know, so obviously I gotta, it's raw right now. Just pushing stuff.
What about running a piece of tubing down the center of that and letting me put a ridge in it?
You want to?
Anything's better than this flat fender.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I take?
All the other trick stuff that you're doing to this thing, that flat fender's driving me crazy.
I love the flat fenders, but I like what you're saying. What if I
Plus
took?
they give strength to rigidity too for your skin.
I'm not letting it get right on the back of that thing. Use this. What if I get that on? All the way down.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Am I too much, too big?
I don't think so.
I don't need 'em.
If you
I
want-
like the roundness. I don't wanna bring it up to a point. I like the roundness. I wanna come down from the roundness and,
Yeah, and belt and
and, yeah.
taper it in, yeah. I'll do that, that's a good idea.
Question is do we do one across or do we do
Two,
two?
or
Or do we
Or
do
go
two,
one here.
like here and here?
start here at a point, and then bring them both out, and run 2 out.
Ooh,
One here,
in a triangle,
and then come down, fade them down into nothing.
like this.
Yeah,
Bring them out here to the edge and then just go straight down. Is that what you're thinking?
yeah, or,
I,
Or I was about to say.
from out here, I like that idea.
You come out here to the corners and then you get a place to push a hutch at too. If you want to use theirs, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, either way,
It's different, guys. I get up here. It's like,
you could roll those in to a point before the seat.
gotta see. So I'm gonna get that seat on here, and I'll do something behind the seat.
Or just, I mean, the seat's probably gonna lay, is the seat gonna lay dead square flat on this? Okay,
I don't wanna run a single,
well then let's do it
I
this
wanna
way.
run that Cobra. It might come up to here.
Got a pencil?
It might come up to there. Use these things out, that'll all come off.
Man, I got another tin cover that's not busted here.
And,
It's the chrome.
like a little chain would.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Oh, okay.
I got one at the shop. You're welcome to it.
Hey, I got
I'll
another one.
donate it to you.
Got one over here, but I don't know, it's not that great a shape.
The one I got chopped in pretty good shape.
Okay.
I got it in and an outer, so I almost brought it with me. This is kind of what I'm thinking. And don't use these marks.
Oh, gotcha.
Just something to give it some shape. Bring it together to a point, like an inch before where the seat is.
Right, can I give you an
Yeah.
opinion?
Yeah.
What if we went to this point to here and brought it in, maybe like this? I think it'd be cool to have it
That's fine
this
with me.
way.
That's fine with me, either way.
Bring it right.
If you did that, what you could do is you bring this up and don't arch this quite so much and just wrap it
I like
around
it.
the
So
seat.
that's what I like. Let's take it all the way down.
Yeah.
Let's take it all the way down.
Yeah, it'll come out and the seat will set down inside it.
That's what I like. So we're gonna go like here to here, like you said.
Yeah.
I'll run a nice bend.
Nice
on
gradual
there,
bend.
And just bring it down.
Bring it down, and then where the seat comes,
Yeah, I could arch a piece there.
take an arch a piece right in there, and then I'll mold everything in between.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
That gets me off this flat.
No, I got you.
Well, not only that, it also gives,
There'll be 800 choppers out there to
Gives
show,
backbone.
and every one of them have the same goddamn
I'm
fender.
with
it
you. I
gives
like it.
backbone to that fender too, there won't be no vibration all the
There's
time.
your-
either.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got these little things. They mark nice. Good. That's great. A done deal.
Yeah, I like that idea, Sid.
That's a good idea.
You get the metal work done on that, and I'll do all the body work on
I'll
it.
work on that tomorrow.
Is
'Cause I'm
there-
gonna get this welded up.
Is there anything gonna be in here?
Well, that's where I'm at right now.
Because instead of just stopping here, you may wanna just come on down with it.
The only thing that I think would be there, I got two options.
Because if you stop right here,
I got you.
then people are gonna look over and see it, that it's terminated right there. So I think I would go ahead and take it the rest of the way down, but you'll have to
I'll have to put a brake.
break it underneath.
I'll probably break it.
Yeah.
complete, And then just fade it into that bar
Yeah.
and then fade it back out and bring it down.
In fact,
You have to watch
Being
your
as-
fender too, and you have to change
Do what?
certain.
being as we're doing this frame and all, do you wanna get rid of these and weld that fender into this frame?
Yeah, there's no reason. Let's see.
Mm.
Yeah, there's no reason why we couldn't.
Yeah.
No reason.
That gets rid of this stuff.
Yeah,
When they look at it, it's all molded into the frame, they go, oh, look, he's dressed this, you
yeah.
know?
You're not gonna see it because it's gonna be under the seat,
Right,
but it'd be slick.
yeah.
So here's the question, or not the question. If I pull this horseshoe,
Mm-hmm.
right, if I pull this horseshoe and go with a
Full tank.
cylinder tank.
Yeah.
maybe something
I was looking
like
at that, I was wondering what you did with that.
Maybe, I'm just throwing some shit around. Or I got another one without a box.
If you're running a mag, I'd go away with the box unless you need to hide some
So here-
wiring for like that brake thing or.
So if I wanted to run a battery, I don't have to.
Right.
If I wanted to, then I could run this battery. You're asking what I would put down.
Tiny
there.
little lithium jaw.
Yeah, this thing is just ridiculous.
You almost
I've-
get an
I've
RC car battery that's about this big to do the same thing, you know what I mean?
I've run these things so many times. Why did they put that sticker on there? I just feel that thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I threw that in a 900cc that Triumph I had in here, and started it with that. No problem. So this is a battery box
I was looking at that too.
that I can square up and
Yep.
weld up. And I can mount that right to these bolts right down here if I want, and sit that battery in there. And
You still have plenty of access and it's not gonna be taking up a lot of
Tiny.
room. Yep.
I just think if I don't need it, why even do it?
Yeah. As long as the mag's good and it'll start right up when you wanna start it.
Right, and then it'll power the lights, so
Mhm.
I'd rather keep it clean. But then I'm worried if I take those out, I'm gonna have too much space there.
You got 2 of those tanks?
Yeah.
What about running 2?
I'd like to get rid of this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got them.
I like that round tank on myself.
Huh?
I like that round tank on there.
I don't really have a whole lot of electronics to hide.
I think you got room for two of the, how wide is that round tank?
The one I got, the other one I have, yeah, it's the same size as that. Yeah, I can get two.
Yeah, 2 of these fit in there easy. That takes up the dead space
Right.
that's gonna be there.
I need to get that out of there. I'm gonna pull that tomorrow, leave the motor and everything, tranny in, cause I'm gonna pull that next. Once I get the tank mounted, you know what I mean? And you're probably right, I'll just weld that up. That's nothing to do.
Yeah, cause just, and it's here and the whole 9 yards.
So I'm gonna pull this sissy bar.
Right.
I'm pulling this sissy bar off, and I'm gonna have two. I need to. And I'm gonna do 2 nice like acorns or something, spikes for here.
You're not gonna weld this into that fender? With that fender welded into that frame, if we finish the frame and fender and everything together, that'll be, instead of being a put together bike, it's a built bike, you know? Anything you can incorporate in, solid.
Here's my,
This is top secret stuff, we're not showing this on the video, cause, we don't want anybody to know about this, but
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I know this.
you run foot clutch.
Slick, man.
When that-
That's slick.
You see this, when that trap door handle hits the switch, this will lock that. So there's no more need to set doing this shit.
you know what? I talked to this guy today.
Yeah. But-
Here's who's gonna be these little ones, you know,
Oh, man.
not like that.
Yeah.
I don't see these very much. I love how they look.
I'll have him talk to Carnes and see.
See if they
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
That's pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, so that's, right there.
Yeah.
I gotta put a lock on it on and stuff.
Yeah.
I had that was set up for a hot rod car. We don't have the bigger diameter. So I put a bolt in there. Put it on the thing. Thread it.
Now, is this aluminum or is this steel?
Steel. Yeah. Both ones I have are steel.
Was this on the,
No.
well, it looks like that other paint, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a little, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't on that bike.
What color is this gonna be? I don't like it.
It's like a deep candy apple red.
It's like an old school candy apple though.
Are you gonna leave this color? Are you gonna paint it black or anything?
I might let's leave it raw. I'm still debating. I need to get some red, what do you call it? Little gems that stick in there, put in those eyes.
Yeah.
I can put some red in there
Mhm.
I have, but I don't know.
I'm just thinking.
I just don't want to go too far with it because then it gets. I don't want it to be. I don't want to be cheesy.
Yeah. I think it looks like pewter.
Right.
We know it's not,
Right.
but it's got that pewter look to it, which is all the cadmium and the pewter all works together, so. I definitely wouldn't chrome it, that's for sure.
No.
And I don't think powder coating will get you where you're at. And I don't think making it the same color as the bike is. I think it's gotta stay that color.
I'm just stand out. So I'll get rid of this. I'm gonna cut these perches off, clean them up for you. Get that out of here. Deal with this tank tomorrow. Kind of figure out what I'm doing there. Get that all welded up and welded in. Tank mounted. Get this welded up. the brackets I'm gonna make on my CNC.
And are we doing anything here as far as support?
We shouldn't need to if I'm.
Yeah,
supported
if
up
this
here.
is welded
We're
in
there and we're
and
supported
supported
here.
there, it just looks, I almost, is this part of the frame or is that,
That's part of the frame, it doesn't move.
I just almost think it would look better if that was attached. And if it's welded in here and you weld it in there, you know, weld an addition of a plate, say, come across. I don't wanna make more work for you, but I just think I look in here and I see this and if I was judging a show and I got 10 motorcycles to judge and this is not protruding out, you know, on the other three, there's a point in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, I can use.
Yeah, you don't have to be anything.
I
Just
can
piece
cut
of
it
finger.
off and, you know, I can mold it into that.
You had that finger rolled over just a little bit more, or had that thing. Right here. Oh, here.
Yeah. I don't know what they're for. I think they're passenger pads, what I'm thinking. Those are coming off
Yeah,
both sides. So what I'm gonna do is I'm making, so think of this, I'm gonna have a,
so there's no dead man arm on these. They lock through here, don't they?
you know, I was looking at that today. I gotta do a little research.
It seemed like there was
The Sporties had a perch there with a big lug that went through.
Right.
In there. But on the same note, this axle on there is squared off to hold here, so I don't think you need it. That's the only movement right now, right? I gotta figure that out, I need to look at some pictures. I don't have it, I don't have
Okay.
it looked up.
Oh, yeah, it won't pull the brakes, see?
Right.
You're hitting the frame, that's what's stopping you, otherwise it'd swing on around. So that plate's gotta be locked in somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this would've been the lock, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but then this is gonna be all.
But that would've been
out
up
of whack.
here.
I'll put that up there.
Yeah, exactly, so. But, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from drilling a hole in that hub and putting a,
Through the back,
yeah,
put a space for it.
yeah. But yeah, that'll definitely have to be locked up because
I'm trying to figure out what, there's gotta be
I can pull the brake if I hold it, you know?
I was just looking at that today. I don't have any reference for that.
Yeah.
I gotta go look in a book or something. This looks like a cable stay right here, so.
I need to give you an older last year's V-twin book, cause that would have, you can look up just about every part in V-twin. You got a V-twin catalog?
No, I have the Panhead book. It should be in.
Next time I come down, I'll bring you last year's V-twin book, cause every one of these recall parts will be in there and it'll give you a good, I use it for reference all the time if I'm trying to figure out an old
Well,
bike.
one thing about it is it'd be nice if I didn't need that huge loop in there. 'Cause it's not structural, the other side doesn't have it.
Well, I don't think you need that huge loop. I think you could do a dead man's arm to this,
Right.
to here, the backside
Yeah.
of this bolt
Just
that's
run it.
holding this.
Yeah.
Just a straight dead man's arm right there and you've locked it. You've locked it
See
up.
which way you're gonna wanna go.
You know, when you hit the brakes, it's gonna go this way.
Right.
It's gonna pull on it this way.
It's just gonna push against it, so. I gotta do a little research on that. I was actually looking at that today, man,
Yeah, I think just a nice chrome hind joint, you know, a little short hind joint deal. From there to there locks that, you know, and you can get rid of this loop.
Mhm.
And I think that would be a lot more trick with this gone and this locked in. You know, if you brought this back even more, you could bring this up even closer and just run a piece of steel with two holes in it.
Right.
What does this do?
So I'm gonna pull it apart. I'm gonna take this wheel off and pull it apart.
Is this just like the wheel cylinder, holds the wheel cylinder or something, or do you know?
I need to get behind some brakes.
That's your
That's
pivot.
probably your pivot.
That's your
for
pivot.
Tightening the brakes.
Yeah, when you pull that pivots oval and it pushes the brake shoes out.
Yeah.
So this has to stay, but this, you could still attach
I
to
can
this.
still use it.
Yeah, you can still use it and it won't hurt anything.
So.
Yep, there'll be a way
I
around
don't know
that.
what to do with that. It's no big deal.
Then we need to find a nice aluminum cone that covers that like the 50s on the Heritage. It's got the dome.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
That would be cool on there.
So there you go.
Well, there's a good start on figuring out a few ideas on it. Have you got another oil tank just like that one?
Yeah. I need to get it over. No, it's not dished. It's not dished. It's a bullet.
I don't. That probably wouldn't have. You know what? Epoxy that fucking dish on that one.
Put something in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as the tank.
I might have to do that. I'm gonna get that out of there. I just need to get that out. See, I'm doing a massive amount of space and I got that on.
That's why I think if you put two of them in there, like this, it leaves you space here,
Mhm.
which is where you need it,
Right.
and
Definitely.
not, you know.
Yep. Need it for that.
And I think that takes up this gap back here, makes everything look cleaner.
It's easy enough to do.
Need a trick set of adjusters though. Some way to adjust that axle without it. If nothing else, put them on the back side of the damn frame so you can't see them.
Yeah. Well, maybe I ever did that before. You know?
I don't know why they didn't do it in the first place.
That's what I mean.
With the Harley. If you're gonna have bushing back here, same as you do there, there's no reason it couldn't have been back here.
This is just all.
And I think you could probably fill this hole probably whenever you figure out how much chain, you only need a half inch one way or the other. Yeah. This is so you can break down 5 times and cut a link out every time chain wrapped up. I think making that fender part of this, I would get this part done before you started this though,
Right.
because this may take a little bit of trickiness getting everything right.
So get me on the stance of that. I'm back and forth on that sissy bar. A lot of guys want to match the same rake as the front end.
Pretty close.
I would,
Smooth.
myself, I would like it
Smooth as well.
probably, I like to see these lines parallel myself.
Here. Ninety. 80, 90.
90. What?
The rate, level
Oh.
from zero.
I see. I don't think it has to be completely there, but
No, I wouldn't go that far. I kinda like where you had it before, actually. And even that's on 60 degrees. I think.
see right there, walk back here and look at it real quick. You still get pretty close to that. It's not quite there yet, but I didn't want to take it all the way past to the end of the fender, but every shot in the Easy Rider, what Dave Van draw. You go back and look through all the choppers in an Easy Rider David Mann drew. Those bitch bars were set way back. Why? Because he had to show off that girl's titties in them drawings. That's why she was so set way back. And that's what everybody sees in their head when they think old school chopper. I personally like that angle right there. And if it were me, I would probably push the,
Tender out.
yeah, it's, you're losing your radius with it back there, but That's close. See, I think this has to come in. It's gotta come back this way. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, we're gonna need to know where
I
that,
can
yeah.
put that where it needs to be, honestly. That's pretty cool. If I wanna do this, I'll set the chain up.
Yeah, get everything set and then, as long as that radius comes out, we're good.
Pretty close.
Just have to watch the rub on the inside that fender.
Well,
It's pretty close right now, it's almost
that
touching.
move-
Well,
When you got up, I mean,
It'll expand a little bit at speed,
yeah.
but not much.
yeah, 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
I always put a quarter, at least a 1/4 inch. Even on the big 250s and 300s, we put a 1/4 inch. And I've never had one swell more than a 1/4 inch. But once that goes into where it's supposed to be, it'll fit, this radius will be tighter.
Plenty to work with. Something.
Yeah.
The fender.
When you move your mount on this and bring that fender down,
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's right on the fender right now. But
Too far.
we'll be back on radius once this is
Right.
down.
right there is about, that's about a 1/4 and a half inch.
That'll be all final touches once you get the chain on it.
Yep.
When you worry about final adjusting everything, you poke yourself right in the eyeball on that.
There's a little bit more room, a little after that cover seat that's on there. We got another cover seat.
I still would like to see another 10 degrees on this bar, but you're running out of fender. But that doesn't annoy me as bad as everything I've seen.
Everybody's almost straight up and down.
They're doing this shit, and I look at it, and it makes the bike look so scrunched up. I'm thinking, how does anybody ride that thing? Because that was the idea of the chopper, is stretch way the hell back, you know. You can come with something cool for that.
Yeah.
I was about between 7 and 9 years old when we had 2 stretched up choppers. Yeah, one was like a turquoise, sea blue, mural kind of color on it, looked pretty sharp, and then he had none, he had more maroon.
Well, here, this will answer your question about the bench part too.
Who you had painted this group
Right there. Right there.
Does that work good with the,
Yeah,
that even makes this angle look better, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. Hold it there.
Better put a mark up front, because you'll need it for reference at some point for something. And then I'll drop it and put a fucking dent in it that I'll have to fix. Okay.
So like this.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's.
I want to find the lace we used was a cheap doily. I want to find some actual cool lace. And that'll make that even nicer. I've been beating my head to death all week about what can we do inside those shallow parts, because that's the first thing that has to be done. The rest of the tank's gonna be after the two epoxy. Something that's gonna be done a billion times. So cobwebs and spiders and that kind of shit.
No.
You don't really strike me as that kind of guy either.
No. No. No one's that.
Can you put any, like a mural of shadow horses?
We don't have a lot of room to work with on that tank,
I
so
don't
it's gotta
wanna
be
go,
tight.
I don't wanna go over the top, cause the feature's gonna be that whole epoxy gate, you just gotta
Oh,
have
you're talking about
something,
on this
on
one?
the tank.
Okay, got you.
you gotta have something behind
Yeah.
it that's gonna make that pop.
Everything I think about airbrushing in there, I think, man, you could almost do that with real objects in the epoxy. I kind of want to hit that almost like a brass steampunk kind of thing, which would take watch parts, or not watch parts, but clock parts, and stacking them in there behind that emblem, where you almost look in there and go, oh, it's got a bunch of gears and shit in there. But I don't know if that would take away from anything elegant. So it just kind of depends on whether you're going elegant or not.
I think less is more. But it's gotta be something cool in there,
Yeah,
behind there. I don't think it has to be like something, I don't think it has to be something cool like this, cause that would take away from it,
right.
you know? But
And what color are those emblems?
even like the smoke.
And those have the red in them too, so that's cool.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that badge has that red and gold in it. What about if I encompass that shallow area with a piece of filigree that goes all the way around the edge, and that's gold, and then we lace the red in the background behind that goalie. So you got the gold and the red, and then you got that badge that sticks above everything else that's gold and red. And that gold leaf I'll have to spend a lot of time on, because what I want to do is make sure it's not wrinkled up like we did on this one. It's more of a, not engine turn, but it's more of a just gold filigree.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be, let's say we increase the size of this to the size of that shallow area on the tank. That means,
So would you do that over top of the red, or that first?
we
and
would
then
we would take that red and do some type of a real nice lace pattern. I want to find something better than what we used on this, because we just had it laying around. Do two things. When you get on a computer, look up lace and look up paisley, and see if there's. I hate paisley by itself, because to me it looks like a bunch of amoeba
Yeah.
floating around. But sometimes I've seen some lace with some paisley stuff mixed into it. And if we were to do that in the background, basically the way this is just kind of candied like that, but in the same color that the tank is.
Right.
We do that filigree in that, just surrounding that area. So the farther you get from the filigree, the deeper, darker it gets.
Okay.
So it's going to start as this black color right here and move out to that bright red where the filigree is around the edge of that. And then when you put that badge right in the middle of it, it's going to cover some of the filigree, but I think that's the beauty in it, because you can see the filigree behind the badge.
Right.
So, and with that badge having the red and the gold in it, and I don't know if this was that a yellow or was that an actual gold color? But this part looks almost gold to me. Okay. So those are like a yellow reflector, but they look kind of gold.
They
So,
do, yeah.
so with the gold filigree, I think that's going to be awesome. And I think that says a lot without going overboard on it.
Right.
Cause anything else we can do,
I just wanna make sure that these are, what do you wanna call it? In the background,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So you're gonna see them, you're gonna go, wow, but it's not like
right,
your face.
right.
And that sounded like what you were saying.
Yeah, we don't want them to jump out and take away from the badge.
Right.
You want people to notice it and go, oh, look at the badge.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, look what they've done behind it. When somebody asks what's buried in that mound of epoxy, you're gonna say, oh, those are actual 58
Mm-hmm.
emblems. Those are not repops. And they're gonna go, you destroyed the setup.
Yep.
How are you attaching the fender braces? You gonna weld them in?
It'll bolt from the top, right? So that way the sissy bar can still come off. If you wanted to take it off, now I'm wondering if we're gonna weld the fender in, would I ever need to take it off?
Well, if you want it chrome, it's, you know,
I really do want it.
you would have to chrome it up to the inner part and leave that inner part raw
Mm-hmm.
and weld it, TIG it. That way you don't put enough heat on that chrome out here to pop it.
I'm gonna do it the way I was gonna do it. It'll look fine. Not fine, it'll look good.
And if we can't find a chromer, I looked today, it won't cost that much for us to nickel plate that thing and polish it.
I got like them high.
Together?
Yep.
You know what if this were me, and you did this on your cutter, right?
Mm-hmm. I thought about it.
Piece right in here. Okay? Just weld it inside. And one out here, just weld it inside. Put an LED in the bottom, then fill it with epoxy. And when that LED lights up, the whole thing would light up. And you wouldn't see anything behind it.
Good.
Because if I had that capabilities in my shop, I'd be utilizing it.
Well, I wasn't
I've been
talking.
looking at your machine quite.
I wasn't thinking about. I was thinking about building a filler for the inside.
Right.
Run up something.
But you could do just the width of a couple LEDs, and you could just put those LEDs in the very bottom, and they take such little wire. That wire you could drill a tiny hole somewhere, bring that wire back under the fender, under the mount, go in on the bottom side. That little piece of wire could run through that tube, pop out in the middle right there, put an LED on each side, encase that LED, and fill that thing with epoxy. And the easiest way to fill that with epoxy would be just lay the LEDs in it,
Yep.
lay it in a vat of epoxy. As soon as it's done, just take a sander and take the epoxy away from the metal, and then we can paint it. And cool thing is whatever design you put in that, once we paint it, it'll look that color. But when you hit the brake light, only the light shows through.
Yeah. Think about it.
But I think this fender is going to be way cooler doing this.
Yeah.
Because from the side, when you're looking at it, and the way that encases around the seat, that's old school there.
Yeah.
You know, somebody using that too. So, you going around that with solid, or you?
I'll use that half-inch
Yeah.
solid on there.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of it. Get it hot. Get it real hot.
Nice and cherry red.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Not for now.
Are those upside down? Purposely? Or is that the way that Springer was?
That's what that springer is. way he built them.
What would happen if you reversed those?
I don't know, you have to ask Eric.
Cause I did two things on springers when we built the Beatles bike. I needed the springer to be 4 inches under, we could only find a stock springer.
Mm-hmm.
So we I needed it 4 inches over, we could only buy a stock one at a time. So I built these hooks that curled around from here and then curled back, and the axle was down here. And it helped the rake and trail in the way that front end felt 100% because you were de-braking. You still had the look of the springer, but the rockers were pushing the axle down here, which saved us because otherwise the frame would have drug.
Yeah. I think
But-
this will lay out pretty decent on the frame. It's gonna give me a little rake, and I want just a little.
You want a little on
Some of the guys are running these crazy rakes like that.
Right, yeah. Either you gotta go all out or none.
Yeah.
You know, or just a little bit. I was just thinking I could, when that's actually sitting on its wheel, I think you're gonna be down another inch or so here. So you're not talking about the old school fucking ugly square rectangles
No,
I'm
out.
not talking about these.
They're bright as hell.
I'm not talking about
Right.
these.
Okay.
I'll show
You're
you.
talking about like
They're LED.
the lights you see people mounting in the crash bars or like bottoms of Jeep stuff. I can see that in 3. Can't be 2. Can't be 4.
I got you on that one, didn't I?
4 looks ugly. 2 is 2 done. 3, I can deal with that.
If they were stepping this way, just like boom, 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 just follow right down that line.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Get that bracket done, send that off to the sissy ball with that chrome mill, so. Some guys are doing that.
I know.
Clear down here.
I hate to cover up them pretty springs. I mean, if you run the bracket up here, you could break one up above, one down below, and one right in the middle.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good idea.
And then, you know, you put a little flashy light or something, little small light right up there. You know what would be cool? Turn signals, but it's a boat light, red and green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Just a one little chrome with the red and green lens in it.
Yeah, but I'm looking at maybe controls up top.
Well, we just put a Mercury switch in the back, and when the bike leans this way, that turn signal will come on. That would blow some people's minds right there.
Yes, it would.
You say, I got turn signals, but no switches. This is how we do it. You just lean the bike. Well,
All right. Keep playing with it.
I'll get started on this. Yeah. Yep, that will get it started.
This could be a pretty cool build, dude.
Thanks. I
It's
think I'm
gonna be,
pretty excited about it.
yeah.
The thing about this one is this is bike I'm keeping. It's one I'm gonna ride.
But it also has to win this show.
Yeah, that's going to.
I think everybody's thinking about pretty in this show. Everybody's thinking about old school. Nobody's going about old school with a new school thought, putting some engineering into it.
Yeah.
You know, this would be something that Billy Lane would try to pull off, is some of the engineering stuff that's gonna go in this that we haven't told anybody about. You see where that screw is right there? Is this in neutral right now? is this the clutch? That's the clutch, isn't it? Where's the shift part? It's on this. Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll have to do in order to make this work with the foot clutch is I'll have to mount this old school bracket back that I can screw in the,
Right.
you know, and I'll make my own cable, right?
But when this goes to neutral, somewhere we've got to find a place to hide the switch. You know what?
Right there.
That'll work. I didn't realize that somebody, did those come in those ratchet tops?
I went out there.
Yeah.
I mean, was unable to leave at the time it was wanting to.
I guess they've had
So-
diesel lights even since the 45 Solos had diesel lights. Yeah.
on the dash. How's that work?
It's a grounded switch. When this grounds, it allows power to pass through it and turn on the light. Instead of turning on the light, that power from this would go to your, it would send 12 volts to your
Yeah.
actuator.
That-
Question is, how much voltage does this need?
Not much at all.
But that should operate. So you pull up, hit neutral.
Here's the problem, it's not an on-off. I'm gonna have to figure out how to wire this so it's an on-off.
This is not an on-off.
No, this is a reverse polarity. One way it goes out, the other way it comes in. Follow me?
Yeah. So all we need.
I have to think about that. It's doable. That's all.
Okay. Maybe if you go to first. No, that won't work.
Can't do it when you're pushing the clutch in.
It can be done to a relay.
And if I'm gonna do it on the, if I'm gonna.
We got
do
to
it
the one time where we stayed at the Iron Horse Lounge or a hotel or motel that's out there.
Mhm.
That's where we stayed at, and we go back and they stayed right at that. Look familiar?
A friend of mine went through it. Didn't know where he was going, pulling a box trailer.
Oh God! Damn! Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So-
Got caught.
Yeah, that was his
He
face.
didn't know where to turn around.
No.
We're back at Matt Schallenberger's place, Iron Addict Custom.
Yep.
Is it Customs or Cycles?
Customs.
Customs. And of course, we got Iron Blackbird Cycles. No intentional pun because we didn't know each other when we both started our businesses. So, but we're picking up paint for a special project, and we're going to be doing some video of his project in the next few months. Because it has to go out to Virginia in, is it May?
May 18th.
May 18th for a big show. And a lot of engineering going on this thing and a lot of custom tricks that we think nobody's done yet. Of course, as soon as you post it, there'll be 5 other people that's already done it. But if they've done it, they haven't done it in a long time. So we're working on some of those tricks.